Jeff here. You know, the fact is, one of my good favorite channels on YouTube is Miss Misanthropist. Well, she recently did a video, and I wanted to give a positive response to this video. It's called about how feminists in this country, by that she's referring to generally the third wave gender feminists. Well, they're not oppressed. In this country, America, and in most Western countries like America, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, women are not oppressed by men. There's no patriarchy. Finally remembered that word, patriarchy, and egalitarianism. Finally remembered those two words. We all do that, but to get back to the point, you want to look at an oppression of women, look in Far Eastern countries and Middle Eastern countries, particularly ones with certain religious backgrounds such as Islam and certain Far Eastern religions, where women are considered second-class citizens. I mean, sad to say this still occurs in the world, but you don't see women, these left-wing third wave gender feminists, going around picketing, you wouldn't see them going to Tehran or China or somewhere where women are treated the way they are over there. And they wouldn't do that because, hey, it's the selective outrage of the politically correct. Well, the point is, sorry to laugh here, but because it's so silly the way they act. But in most Western countries and most civilized countries of the world, women are given rights. You think the woman can drive in Saudi Arabia? No, she can't. A woman can be punished severely for being raped in these countries. America, a woman is given the benefit of the doubt. If she says a guy raped her, as a matter of fact, women are given too much leeway in some respects because there's some women that claim to be raped that aren't. That does occur. There was case a few years back where a woman was pressured into saying the guy raped her when he really didn't. And the guy went to jail for it. People think that doesn't happen. It happens. You just don't hear it reported about because the third wave gender feminists don't want you to know this. They think that if you knew this, you would all of a sudden stop supporting him, sending him money, and that's generally what the third wave gender feminism is about, is making money for a certain ilk of the group. It's the old George Orwell saying some animals are more equal than others from Animal Farm. But, in all fairness, there are men who are bad men. Sure there are. There are men who have no respect for women whatsoever. But, the majority of men in Western countries do, regardless of what Susan Surrender or some other radical neo left-wing group would say. Well, they do this. This is done because they have a get even with themism, as is sometimes said. Why get even with guys who haven't done you any wrong? Some guy who has no more intention of touching you or looking at you funny. They think all men are bad. They think that, all of a sudden, if it's a double standard. Some guy who goes up and compliments them is automatically considered bad. And if you don't compliment some of them, they're bad. They take an offense to it. And why? It's all ego. All ego, folks. All ego, vanity, and narcissism with these people. I think you and I are beneath them, and they know better than us because they got some degree in women's studies from some podunk university nobody even gives a rip about. And I got to tell you, I mean, it's a bad thing out there. But the true actual feminists, which are the equality feminists, which are very few and far between now, have no. That was the you hear people talk about the dictionary definition of feminism. Well, the dictionary definition was right, is right, but they don't tell you about the two different schools. There's only two different schools of feminism. Count them, folks. Two different schools. There's the equality feminism, which just simply states equal rights for women. And then there's third wave gender feminism, which means that take men out of power and put women in power, totally in power, not let men have any power at all. This is fascist. It's fascist. They wonder why Rush Limbaugh refers to women who are third wave gender feminists as feminazis, because they act like Nazis. They do the same tactic. Well, I'm going to cut it off right here because I got some stuff to do. Okay, take care, dudes.